that you are in Colorado, but I'm convinced that you are home. And I want to believe that the passion you have, it calls upon us to support you in sharing that which will support your passion, specifically on how we can make a big difference back home. And I'm sure we are aware that most meetings, it starts around 7, but with the knowledge again that there's so much going out here. Even me, I'm supposed to be somewhere, and I can say, even now, I am somewhere because I have come to join those who are here, right? Therefore, I want to begin with, I want to invite like 2 or 3 people to share a few words. Yes, to share what the feelings that you have. And I'm also reminded for us to know that we are live coverage through our media. And therefore, whatever you say, it is being recorded and being monitored in the entire world. That's one thing I've seen, that it's good to have this program going on. And without much doing, I see people still coming in. I'm trying to buy time, but Esther, is good. You prayed, and I know that Elder also asked a similar or close passion to what's going on. So it's good to start with ladies. I once again call you for a minute or two to be a blessing, to say something to do with Nyamira governance, and then I'll move to the next level of inviting those who will be able to speak next. So once again, sister, come for a minute, and as we move forward.
And the guide me of God. But you know, we can't miss something to speak. Standing here, I want to thank you so much for having that mind of thinking going back to our people. Why? Because if you've been in our country and also you've been in your own area, if you look closely, you can see the need of the people, but they don't have someone to deliver. And for those people who have come abroad, they've seen the need. So when someone is coming back there, and I want to speak to people in Africa if they can hear me, because I know we are live. Our intention, going back to you or leaving America, coming to look for a seat, it's not that we don't have something to do. It's because we've seen something good that we want to bring home so that it can look a better place for people to be. So, my brother, I'll tell you, go forward, no matter what, because positiveness is something that brings up a good result rather than negativeness. So you as an individual, you have to know what you want. If you are for real, you are going for the seat, go for it. Yes, people will give you advice, will tell you it's hard. There's nothing that is easy. Because even when we're in America here, you can see how we struggle with life. It's not easy. So, standing here also, my husband is asking for a seat in Parliament for MP Getutu Chache North. So we are facing some challenges with you. And I'm gonna tell you that we are going forward, wherever we face. If we get, glory to God, right? If we don't, we'll still thank God and come back and continue with life. So I want to urge you so that we can support our own people, so that as they go there, they're going to build our own name. Let us not look at it in a perspective of like Gideon. No, let us look at it as a community. Okay. Let us look at it as a community. And also I want to thank our Madam President who is here, who is going to fight for us as immigrants in America. So thank you very much for this opportunity, sir, and we wish you well.
What do you say, our sister? Yeah, for those who don't know Esther, Sister Leader actually, she is the vice chairman for our Pamoja Kenya. Good to see you, Brother Henry. Good to see you there. And the next speaker we'll have, again, representing our Mwanyagetinge office is none other than Brother Chris, Dr. Chris Omare. You want to come for a minute? We will really appreciate that. After which I'm being told that Madam President has a busy schedule. We'll give her a chance after Dr. Chris speaks to us. Karibu sana, Azimio. Yeah, thank you.
Madam Chair, organizing committee, friends, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. As you have indicated, I'm not from Nyakundi for now. For now, I'm from Azimio, which is now the driving force in Kenya. And I believe my brother Gideon, if he's not part of that group, then I'll ask you to consider joining the group. But I believe you told me that you are part of Azimio, na lazima baba afanye nini? Akuwe the 50th president of Kenya. So I've known Gideon for quite some time as a friend. I've listened to him speak on different forums, either from back home through radio and other places. I think I've also interacted with many other aspiring either members of parliament, governors, MCAs, and whichever position they are looking for. I know people from the diaspora were sometimes faced with a unique situation. How can I play my politics? Bearing in mind that where I'm growing up or where I live, politics is practiced differently. And back home, politics is practiced differently. By now, Gideon, I think you made your mind. As your friends, we will support you. As I said earlier, there are many candidates in the field. Us is to give an opportunity to them, listen to them, give a piece of advice to them, and give them a pat on their back, telling them go forward. Because already they have evaluated with their team and they have seen what is coming or what is on the ground. So all we will do is wish you good. I know people who have played politics, who have gone to Kenya and have run a campaign. I had a privilege of running a campaign for my brother about 10 years back. And what I came to discover, people are good, but poverty sometimes compromises the integrity of our people. And this has been made a very obvious theme of our leadership in Kenya. They will want to make our people poor so that they can be able to control them. So, if you don't have anything to eat, it's very difficult for you to deny somebody giving you something small. That we understand. And our people are made to behave like that. And I know it's very difficult to just tell them this is not right. We need you to change the behavior. We need you to go to this direction. But we know, even pastors have preached since the world was, since from, I don't know, they have said the world is coming to an end, but they don't give up. They still preach. So our message to our people is still to think or make a decision using their minds. It's okay, you can eat. But when the time for voting comes, can you please make the right decision? Because the hospitals, the schools, whichever part of the economy that we feel should be thriving right now is pulled back because people bribe you, you give them a vote, when they go back to, or they go into parliament, they're simply going to get the money they spend on you. So unless we change that direction and start voting on the basis of ideas or on the basis of what somebody is telling you is going to do, then we will go wrong every day. Because it's not my day, I want to end up by telling our people that I think this is the time that our country is going to change. We at the Azimio, we believe that when Baba comes in, we will see a good change in Kenya. So, Gideon will work hand in hand with Baba, and we believe the changes that will come will be for the benefit of our people, and our country will change. They will question you why you are leaving. Because some people are asking, or are questioning people who are resigning in Kenya, and then they go to fight for one seat. And they say, why are you leaving a job that you already guaranteed you're being paid to come and fight for one that you even don't know you're going to get? Is there something wrong with you? You are not sure that you're going to get this thing. And I'm sure that is the question also that is in your mind. But since you have decided to do that, I'll sincerely support you in terms of advice and whichever little that I allow to make sure that Nyamira will change. With that, I yield back, Mr. Chair. Thank you very much. Na sote tukue tayari kuona kwamba Baba ameingia State House. That's my. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Chris. for those wonderful encouragement words. As I invite Walter to come and talk, allow me to say that personally I have known Gideon for such a long period of time. And I must admit that actually Dr. Mandy one time invited me to H Church. And when I went there, that's the first time I met Gideon there. We started doing Bible study together. And after which I have seen so much connection that if you ever ask me, I'm able to give an answer to whom Gideon is. And I remember when he was moving, he called me to his house. Me and my family said that we have this such nice stuff that we cannot move with. Use whatever you believe can be of essential to you, and then I should be able to share others. I'm saying this with that knowledge that I have a reason if I ever call back home. Some of them, the question they ask, what do you say about Gideon? If I cannot say what I know about Gideon, then I have no reason to tell people what we know about him. And this is coming back to most of us as youth. And yes, you hear people say this about Mosetti, but what about you? And I am convinced that those who have come here tonight, you will say the testimony is that you better support the same one who has been with us, not only by speaking the good things, but even in terms of business. If you are doing the business today, I better support your business, and when I need you, you will come and support me. And I'm sorry that, Doctor, yours has not been to support really what doesn't make sense, but you are supporting even back home. That will make a big impact. I'm trying to see if Madam the President is all right. So as we look forward to helping our friend, kindly there's something you can chip in. When we are not talking about so much huge money, but something little can really do something towards not necessarily overseeing, but in terms of connection. You know, you may have something that you want to send and help people Kenya, but if I can be able to give $20, $50 towards make this happen, it will be a blessing towards what we are anticipating. Brother Henry Mumani, you are supposed to be right here. So as I invite you, can you come for a word or so, then as we continue with the program.
The chairman and the organizing committee, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Good evening once again. Yeah, karibu sana. Yeah, my name is Henry Romanya, as you heard. I'm here to support Dr. Gideon Musetti for the noble cause that is he has asked us to support him to do. I have known him, as most of you have said, and even if you look at him, you're looking at the governor, or the next governor to be. Most of us, I don't know, sometimes whether we maybe we think so much and we don't have answers. Most of the countries, people who have changed their countries are the people who are in diaspora. And the people who are in diaspora, it is us who are here now. And sometimes ask, that what these back home people, and we don't even do anything. Remember the role we play back in our country, Kenya. If we want to make a change back home, we can make that change. And the only way we can do that change is by having one of our own from here who has learned the process and the way things are done here in the Western countries, so that they can go there and take the course. And even sometimes when we have people who have volunteered, who have sacrificed their time and they have come forth, they want our support to go and bring that change. I don't see people here coming to support people who are willing to fight for the local change. So, ladies and gentlemen, me, I support Gideon, and I support everybody who is ready to go bring change back home, Kenya. Because it's few of us who are that, dedicated. Some of us, we come here, then we feel, that, oh, I'm okay, I'm not satisfied. No. Our people back home, they need us. Our people back home, they rely on us. And then we don't support those ones who are ready to go and bring that change. Who is going to do that then? That's why tonight, this evening, I'm calling all our people here in the diaspora and back home who are listening. Choose the candidates that can bring change. And that really change somebody can bring is not that much, but it's to tell you the right thing or to choose the right candidate who can bring that change you are talking about. And change starts with you. You are saying, I don't have money. Yes, we know back home they talk about money, but the money is not going to bring any change. You ask me money, I give you money. After that, you wait for 5 years again to see me because I gave you money to vote for me. All right? So, and then you don't expect me to come and do anything until the 5 years are done. I have to get my money back before I start working for the community. That's why we are having that same problem all the time back home. So the only change we can get is to have people on the ground who speak, who have got that experience. It's not about money. It's about, doing things, in the right way. Okay? Because someone will run in the Mukarenka. I know you are going to read this, otherwise let me speak the language that you hear. In Tuna Tolega diaspora, Ekargo Atumiro Montomindo, Mato Kergoluga, Kire, Attack the Ojako, Wodugo, Biago, Tarinanese, and Jatabuati gas. Actually, no sacrifice. You guys can do something, maybe to water. Then the talk ranga, in Kawu, even the Birometer of your Corgoro. One Muhamuno Yagra, Kire, I the water. Is a doctor. He has seen that things are not right back home. He's coming there to tell you that, in the talk in the Viga, they didn't hear. The Alcohol in the in this way. Nandre de Gra, Gire, some Wegas. Narete, over visiting room, Kuruai, and say, as I made it. Narete, one Kuruai, as I made it. Maybe to be the mirror. Toramwe, Aletabu, Pitacon. So tonight, because it's not my day, I want to welcome you all, and I want to tell my brother Gideon that you know what? We are behind you all the time. If it is money, we're going to give you the money that we have. But the most importantly, the support, the moral support. And those ones who come from the Nyamira county. Like me, that's where I am married from. I will call somebody, one or two people, and tell you know what? Dr. Gideon is coming there, he's a candidate, and he's able. He can be the governor of Nyamira if we support him. So for those few remarks, I want to thank you so much, and my brother, so they're on. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you, Brother Henry. Before President Ruda comes, my two brothers have said that we need to help support our brother Dr. Gideon. If you are able, you can send financial support to zero. You use zero. The number is 651 500 8680. Again, it's 651 500 8680. Cash up, it's same number, 651 500 8680, or $ Gideon Nyakundi. M-Pesa for those back home is 725 366 509. Again, it's 725 366 509. So with that, let me welcome President Ruda.
Good evening. Good evening once again. I want to take this opportunity to say thank you so much to the chair of this meeting for having me here. And to also want to acknowledge my organizing secretary, Dr. Chris. Thank you for being here. I see you have your senior hat. So I'm not going to take too much time because I think most of us are saying the same thing here. That when one of us runs back home, that means our issues and our desires are being met. And the only thing we can do is we can support them, through our financial donations, as well as our influence, right? We know that there's a stigma in Kenya where when you're coming from America, you don't have the knowledge of what's going on the ground. But really, I think most of us know exactly, even to the village there, we know exactly what's going on, the politics that is going on, more than even some people in Kenya. I'm always excited to hear that somebody wants to run back home. And this is why I'm excited, because you are bridging this gap between the diaspora and our people back home. You're bringing new ideas because of your exposure. You're bringing new ideas to our people. You're bringing practical ideas, things that you can actually implement right away that we can see results. Most leaders talk about their manifesto and what they want to do with our people. That's good. But at the end of the day, if you can't execute on that manifesto, then what's the point, right? And so I always applaud those people who have the courage to go back home and run, because that's a different ballgame. Most of you know I'm running for Senate here. And there's a couple of people who've asked me, how come you don't run back home? You have a great network there. You have done some work over the years. Why not back home? And I tell them I can do more as a senator here in the US going back home. And this is why. I think about how do I make an impact in our people back home as a senator. If I was home and I was a senator, yes, that would be nice. But if I'm a senator going there and I have like Dr. Gideon there, can you imagine the collaboration we can do together? That's how I see good leadership on the ground and when we partner together. There's many of us who try to do some good work in Kenya, and we've come across some very hard challenges. I had a container that was stuck in Mombasa for 6 months because I couldn't find a politician who was willing enough, selfless enough to fulfill what they promised. And that container, we had to let go. There was a CT scan that was available. We couldn't get it to the country because we didn't have the infrastructure. We didn't have the right leadership to take on that project. Now imagine if you had somebody like you who's lived here, who we know who you are, we can hold you accountable, and you know that our resources, we're already giving you our money, we're holding you accountable. Imagine imagine the weight of that collaboration. Even those of us who want to do simple stuff for our own people, we're not doing it because we want to, say, here we are. We're doing it because we are seeing the resources that this country has to offer, and we are able to go back home and help our people. So that's why I'm always interested in our politics back home, because I'm interested in good governance back home. Because if we have good governance back home, that means that our people here who are passionate and wanting to help our people back home can also have good partnerships, can open doors for us to go there, help our people do investments, build investments not only for ourselves and our families, but for the entire community. So what do I ask you tonight? As Dr. Gideon is going around asking for your support, and I know there's a lot of needs out there. I'm here asking for your support as well, but today is not my day. It's Dr. Gideon's day. Think about, what do you want to leave behind? What legacy do you want to leave behind? Is he somebody that you can back and say, yes, I gave you my $25, my $100, my $500, because it doesn't have a limit. Here, I have a limit. I can't have you donate more than $1,000 to my campaign. Him, you can donate up to $10,000, whatever you feel comfortable. But ask yourself, what legacy can he, through him, you can leave behind for our people both here? So from that perspective, I hope you would consider supporting him. And I hope that he's out here also giving us a reason to support him, not just by supporting because there's a diaspora candidate. I'm a very strong supporter of knowing who you're supporting first before you even. So I'm looking forward to getting to know you. I'm looking forward to getting to know what your vision for Nyamira County, because my family's from Nyamira County. And so I'm looking forward to hearing what you have for our people back home. Because I don't want to just put your answer. You also have to be credible, accountable, all of those things that we are asking for, so that when I give you money, I know that it is going to the right place, and I know that it's going to. So with that saying, thank you so much for having me here, and thank you for even showing up. Thank you, Madam President. Now let me introduce myself. My name is Dr. Machoka. I think most of you know me. I've been in the community for some time. And I've known Dr. Gideon for a long time. When Dr. Gideon called me and told me that he wants to run for governor in Nyamira, I was like, Gideon, are you out of your mind? Gideon has been here for a long time. He's a successful person here in the US. And he wants now to go back to Nyamira. But Dr. Martin Luther said this. He had reached the mountaintop, and he had met a lot of good people, and he wanted to stay there. But the valley was calling him. Gideon has been in the US. He has met very good people along his way. He's a doctor. He has a very good job. He can live well in America for the next many years. But the valley, which is Nyamira County, is calling him back. And he has seen a need to go down and serve the people of Nyamira because there's much need. Every single time, like each one of you, you get phone calls, at the middle of the night. There's need. People are not able to commute from the village to the nearest hospital. There's no transport. There's no ambulance. And you have to cough every little penny you have to make sure that it's possible for somebody to be able to move from one point to the other. Every single time they're looking at us, it's time we need to have good governance back home. People who understand what we go through here in the US, so that they can be able to transform our villages into a better place where we can sit right here in the US without always worrying about what's happening back home. Gideon is a very good leader. He's a selfless person. I have a very good example. Once we had a case where we needed some support. Gideon gave up his own house to be able to help a friend without even thinking about his family. Those are the kind of leaders that we need, who
thinks about other people first before themselves. As much as the Bible says, love yourself first before you help others, because that's what that verse means. Love others as you love yourself. You have to love yourself because you can't give what you don't have. You have to love yourself first before you love others. Without further boring you with a lot of information, Angela Wu said this. People might forget what you say. People might forget what you do, but they can never forget what you did for them. They will always remember how you touched them, whatever evil you did for them. So I want to give Gideon a chance to tell us who he is, because some of us we might know him just on the face value. We want to know who he is, why he needs our support, and what he's going to do for the people of Nyamira. So I want to welcome him so that he can give us this manifesto before we decide that we are fully going to support him. So Gideon, welcome.
Thank you, brother. Good evening. I'm humbled to be with you here today. And as my brother, Dr. Machoka, said that famous quote from Angela. And one day, Sister Angela said, I quote, "We do cherish the butterflies. We see a butterfly going around and we cherish those butterflies so much. But we don't know the life reformations or what that butterfly has gone through to break from the cocoon to be such a beautiful insect. I think politics is the same thing. We go through a lot of things until we become who we are. Thank you for inviting me tonight to talk to you. And it's refreshing to me to see the faces that I see, the faces that I know, the faces who have made me to be who I am. I have been in this state for about 10 years, and I remember going through the education system, and when I did my second master's, and I said education is enough, and Brother Mark invited me to his graduation ceremony when he was graduating with his doctorate, and it was so beautiful, and before I knew it, I was back to school. Thank you, Brother Marvin. He's the one who inspired me to go for my doctorate. So as you know, I've served across the US in different capacities, from the Mayo Clinic back to HCMC, serving with Dr. Kerandi. I remember fighting so hard to get our people to be treated for flu when they go down there, and things that I have done across the community. God is good. I got an opportunity to move to Colorado to be a senior director for biomedical and clinical engineering for Denver, the city of Denver, a position that I've had now for close to 5 years, by the grace of God. I have worked in areas like COVID. You know, when COVID came in, nurses, doctors, Dr. Machoka, you have the vaccine, but you don't know how that vaccine gets transported, how that vaccine gets stored, under what temperature, from where to where. So those are some of the things that I do behind the curtains to help humanity. I have also had the opportunity to oversee the healthcare system down there. I've had the opportunity also to be sent outside, especially during this time of COVID, to do some analysis. A few months ago, when they sent me to get some data from Europe and Southern America. So I've had to serve this country at a higher capacity, and I feel like it's time now to go back home to serve my people. It happened about 3 years ago when I received a phone call from home, from a place called Keroka. One old man was really sick. This mzee had prostate cancer. They had taken him to one of the hospitals in the Rift Valley, he did surgery. But unfortunately, there was an infection. So what happened, this old man started growing maggots from the lower parts. So the old man was dying alive. They called me, there's nothing I could do, but it happened that I was traveling back home. So when I went to visit with him, I saw him, the pain he was going through, and I saw him dying on my face. I got so emotional and I started investigating what's going on with our community. I had the opportunity to visit our county, Nyamira. I visited the healthcare system there. And honestly, it was looking horrible. There were so many cancer patients. This is a system whereby the entire county of Nyamira, there is no single IV machine. You know, when you're running medication, you say, I'm running 200 ml per hour. I'm running 500 ml per hour. But this is a county where they run every IV medication through gravity. What does it cause? Cancer, kidney, heart failure, name them. And then our people keep on asking, where is the cancer coming from? We are killing ourselves. When I saw this, I also went to other areas like the dental, where they run using tap water to extract it. And I saw the reasons why our people are dying. I started serving the community, that's about 3 years ago. I've been involved in the healthcare missions. I've had about close to 10 medical missions. I remember last December, I was at SCC, hospital called Isobe Dispensary, where I donated medical machines. I trained clinicians on how to use the machines. I went to Manga, I donated some machines there. I went to Kemera, a hospital called, there's a hospital in Kemera called Nyamira, sub-county. I donated machines there. I also donated the optics machine for the eye treatment. I also went to a place called Mirili. I think Holder, your family comes from around there. That hospital, I was able to give some treatment to a lot of people, and I donated medical machines. I also went to Gekano Parish. They have a medical machines there, which are really broken. I was able, I'm also an engineer. I was able to service those machines and also donated some machines there. And also the mission continues. But as my sister said, Madam President, there is frustration. I remember when COVID came, I was serving this great nation, this great country, and I told them, you know, I have served you a lot, and my people are dying. What can you do for my people? The same words I asked George Moseta Anyona when I was a very young boy. I remember when he was looking for votes and he was talking to my dad, and I said, how about 6 years ago? And I was like, what are you going to do for us? And Mzee told me, just be nice to people and serve the people. Those are the only words George Moseta Anyona told me. I remember when I was very young. So anyway, I talked to these people and they gave me a lot of medical support. They gave me a lot of medical equipment, actually worth 4 billion. But unfortunately, I talked to our governor to come and pick these medical equipment to help our people of Nyamira and TC. Because these medical equipment were going to help Nyamira, help Kisii, Homa Bay, Kericho, and Bomet, because it was a lot of medical equipment. Unfortunately, it kept on being delayed, until now it's delayed. That's the kind of leadership that we have. That's the kind of leadership that we have that has failed our people terribly. I do know that, especially the Kisis in the diaspora, we are people who are well connected, we are people who are very hardworking, people who have resources, people who have connections to people, to donors. But unfortunately, we get it so rough when we want to help our people. So are we going to just sit by the fence and wait for manna to come from heaven and help our people? No. Some of us, we have to take that chance, that opportunity, I call it an opportunity, so that we can create that bridge that can be able to link the resources from the diaspora to our people. I would like to talk about 3 things from my manifesto. One, I just shared with you, it's healthcare, that I have seen a lot of people suffering. I remember last August, I had organized for a very big medical missions where I had over 35 doctors, some from the diaspora, to come to Nyamira and go help our people. But unfortunately, our sitting governor, sorry to say this, he refused to sign for me a damn letter authorizing me to bring the doctors to help our people. I didn't choose that I'm going only to treat people who will be voting to me, or who will be voting to him, or a thief, or a Christian. All I was caring is to treat our people during the COVID pandemic. But imagine a sitting governor who refuses and instructs people that he's the only person who can sign that letter when our people are dying. And here you have the doctors. So that being said, I have really looked at the challenges our healthcare system is facing due to poor leadership. Do you think that they don't care? Let me tell you that they know all these challenges. They know how our people are suffering. But the simple reason is they don't care because they want our people to be exactly where they are. Some of these people who are buying, you ask them, okay, you are buying, yes. 90% of the people who are buying for Nyamira governor have been former MPs, former failed MPs, all of them. You ask them, what are you going to do different for our people? The only thing they'll tell the people is just to stay there, right there. And our people, because of lack of education, they say abu. They say abu. Moskanonya, yeah. You listen to what they're talking around. That is the word where our people are dying. Nowadays in Nyamira County, the deaths are more than the births. Who cares? The number of people we are burying in Nyamira County is more than the children who are being born. That's a fact. When I've been looking at all these challenges, the healthcare system where you go, there's no single machine. Even the healthcare workers are frustrated. Here in this country, we almost worship healthcare workers. Because when you are sick, they're the ones who clean you up. Back at home, a healthcare worker, you raise up your head, you're smacked with a hammer. That is the system. They talk about ECDE, early child education. Employ the teachers. Yes, employ these early childhood teachers. But so what? We know how we take care of our children here. When a child is from 1 year to 7 years, that's the age that child is functioning like a sponge. That's the time you shape this child. But now you say employ the teachers, say, yes, so what? These are children, some of them are still using diapers. How have you trained the children? Have you employed a nurse who can be able to change these diapers for these children? Have you made it so that these children can take even a 30 minutes nap when they come to school? What about the toilet? A class 8 student goes the same toilet with a preschool child. Huyu mtoto anaenda kukaa kwa ile choo ya magogo. Mtoto wa miaka 3, miaka 4. Then you tell us that, yes, you're employing the teachers, but what kind of services are you going to give this children? Because this is our foundation. Are you going to give them milk? Are you going to ensure that these children have been immunized? Vaccinations. Do you have a nurse going around every school to ensure that they are of good health? So that we nurture them. We get engineers, we get doctors from these children. Or you're just saying employ the teachers because of employment. These are some of the things I ask myself, and I feel like we need to do something. When you look at infrastructure, for the last 10 years, there is no single road that the county of Nyamira has constructed, which is not even 1 kilometer for the last 10 years. Whereas money is given in millions, in billions actually. Recently, I talked to one of the MPs. I said, hey, why are you not giving children bursaries? Why are you not giving them bursaries? And I said, you know what? You're going for a governor seat. Maneno ya MP, wachana na MP. I said, no. Put this thing in public. Whoever you are given the bursary, put it in public, because I've heard some complaint that you are selling bursaries. You are giving bursaries 100,000, they return 90,000, they take 10,000. If you are not doing that, why are you not putting the bursary public? That's the reason why most of our children from the colleges and universities are being challenged in this education. It's a lot of problems. You see, we have help, help, higher education loans fund. That thing is going to be scrapped very soon because there's no money from the government to be able to be funding such a program. How are we going to ensure that our college students and university students are able to get the money needed to finish their studies and give them opportunities? Those are some of the challenges that I think about, and I feel that I should be able to vie for the governor's seat and be able to solve such a kind of challenges. With the university students and university colleges and university colleges and students, I am thinking of starting Nyamira National Youth Service. Most of you will go like, what? Oh yes. I'm happy to say and to share with my brothers and sisters back home that I've been going around talking with friends, and I have almost managed to get one friend from the country of Israel who can be able to start Nyamira Youth Service. What will it do for the university students? You see, we have simple contracts. Building a spring of water, or just a spring. If you take that spring of water, just one, and involve those students from that village with the guidance of the engineer to build one, you'll be able to give them the 5 million Kenya shillings that is given to another contractor somewhere, and that money is not being utilized within the county for them to pay for their tuition. If you do like 10 streams in a ward, the entire population, student population of that ward, you could have paid for their tuition. Think about beautification of the streets. Simple jobs that you need to mentor these university students to be able to increase their expertise when they're on holidays. But as leaders, what do they do? Leave them to go to Chang'an. Nowadays, it's marijuana. Sorry. Leave them to do whatever they're doing. We don't have leaders who are looking for the tomorrow for our children and the future generation. So I feel like to solve this problem we have for unemployment, we have to look at you, the diaspora. How? Give us one simple machine for processing tomato paste. In Kenya, in Gusti, people eat chips, but the tomato paste that we use in the entire Gusti comes from Machakos. Whereas tomatoes from Omogonchoro in the Kemera ward, the mamas bring those tomatoes and they go in the trash at the end of the week because they're rotten. We get one machine like that, diaspora investment, it will employ 10 people. We'll end up producing tomato paste.
and helping the farmers. Think about Mawawa. When I did a research, there's a university in Australian State University, which did a study of the Wusi land in 1932. Very amazing information. They discovered that in around Mawawa area, Jabera, good soil for fruits. That's why we have a lot of pineapples there. They're the ones who introduced the pineapples. Instead of putting a juice organic processing plant in Nyamira around Mawawa, mamas keep on running around the road, getting accidents. Unapita na gari, mama anakuja mananasi 20, anataka kukugonga ununue by force. Ukinunua moja na kuongeza 5. At the end of the day, they are rotten. Instead of putting a machine there which can squeeze and make organic juice, tunanunua toka wapi? Del Monte. These are the challenges we are facing, but the solutions are there. Look at our coffee. Nowadays, we buy coffee from Tanzania. Diaspora investment, a small machine for making Nescafe, and bring to the diaspora and sell. If the diaspora were to come together, get one creamery, just one creamery, go talk to Mexico or here in the US, get one creamery and put it in Nyamira. You will tap the milk from Nyamira, Kisii County, Homa Bay, even from Kericho and Bomet. In the entire region of Nyanza, we don't have a creamery. Where does our milk come from? Whereas people with border border, they run around with milk. Hakuna mtu ananunua, the hotels are full, and then it goes to the drain. What can you make from milk? Nyumbani ni only whole milk, period. Here we know we can make skim milk, 1%, 2%. Food, we can even make this thing, mikate. How do we call it? Blueband. Ice cream, yogurt. But now, because of lack of this thinking, our people are just outside without jobs. It will be so beautiful, it will be so nice to me if I can be able to link the diaspora to even get one creamery in Nyamira, and you'll see miracles. The entire region called Kabirondo. It will change our people. Nowadays, even you go home, that milk you buy from the supermarkets, be very careful with that milk. Some of them, they use formalin. Put that milk, boil it, wait for 2 minutes, it will turn black. I'm not going to name the brand or whatever, but go try it, it will turn black. And then the preservatives that they use, God knows where they get them from. Buy fresh milk when you go home, my people. These are some of the things I'm looking at. I feel like if we come together, if we reason together, if we look at what we have, we can be able to change Nyamira County. I have been there for the last now 3 years. I've done a lot, and I'll do it. It doesn't matter what they vote me, they don't vote me. I will do it. I'm going to the end of this month, and I'll continue helping our people, and especially in healthcare. I have an upper hand in healthcare. I'll be moving to West Mogrango, North Mogrango, and even beyond. I will help until God calls me and says, it's enough. But I believe with your help, I can even do much. I know it's a challenge, and especially in security. We've had a lot of things, a lot of challenges back there. Things happen and nobody questions. But with the hand of God, I believe that God will protect me. And also for those aspiring, I believe that they will respect each other. Because even Abagusi, you remember Abagusi when they used to say, They knew what they were saying. So these politicians, they need to respect each other and then tell the people what you are going to do for them. If you have failed, give the reasons why you failed and why you feel you can do better. That's what I encourage the entire country to do. All the politicians. My young brothers who are being bought to be gangs and do whatever, you know, go to people's funerals, make noise and all that. Please, let's encourage them to stop that. I've been looking at, finally, I'll give you a chance to ask me a question. I've been even looking at how do we develop the entire Republic of Kenya to be like Singapore. What did we do wrong? Or what are we doing wrong? And then I've been looking at the trickle down, the 6,000 they're giving the old people, 70 years and above. I don't know. I'm sorry, that's why we did a little bit, even though I'm in the middle. I'm in a party called Progressive Party of Kenya, which is not aligned to anybody. But I have looked at this. What can we do to develop Kenya? How many people in Kenya are 70 years and above who are going to get 6,000 and above? I'm not against Tanzania. But then also look at how do we empower our people with wheelbarrows. So when I was thinking about this, I even thought, my grandpa told me that, you know, even Abagusi had the economic model. Do you guys know the Abagusi economic model? Eke Nyakundi, eke kiake imokie, ake goreka kagena kangoko, akagena kwaka imokie, akagoreka boli mboli na manwa, mboli yuanye imokie, aye gore ng'ombe utari oro, ng'ombe yuanye imokie, aye gore monto ibora abana. Abane birachoki mbya gito mochiri sangaka. That is the key economic model. So to achieve this, number one, we must look at the healthcare system for our country, because we cannot give you 30,000 per month and then we give you a bill of your child who got sick last week of 100,000. It can't work. That's why we have the middle class poverty level, the low class, that you have a job in Kenya, but you never get rich. You get money at the end of the month, but you never invest. Why? Because we have not solved our primary problems. You earn 100,000. Your mom gets sick. You take her to the hospital, a bill of 1 million. You take a loan. You pay for another 10 years. You have a small car. You're paying also for a loan. Your children, you want them to go to Mangu. You want them to go to Alliance. Why don't we have Alliance in Nyamira? Those are some of the things we need to ask ourselves. We need to have better schools that are affordable in our county so that we don't spend so much money taking our children to faraway schools. We solve the problems in our healthcare system so that we don't take our people to the hospital, pay a lot of money, and then they die. And that's why I say, if voted in as a governor within 1 year, I'll be able to give Nyamira County free primary health care, which is of high quality. I can be able to start the medical information record, which I champion here, the entire city of Denver. I know how it works. Back home, you go with an exercise book, a piece of paper, they write for you today. Tomorrow you come, you don't have it. They don't know your history. They don't know how you've been doing. And then things keep on piling up. A simple solution, healthcare records.
So that when a child is born or a child is conceived from conception, you know how that child, he or she is doing at the mom's womb until that child gets to 100 years. You have all the record. If there's a problem, you know how to take care of it. These are some of the things we can do. I know Nyamira has people who are learned in the diaspora, in Nairobi, in Mombasa, in Europe, who can be able to help and do these things. Madam President talked about the city scanner. And we have many more. That's why I tell Nyamirans for primary health care with medical information records, I can be able to deliver that within my first year. I have the link, I have the connections, and I have the knowledge how to do it. So remember the days we used to go to school. We used to walk in the morning, come back for lunch. And then you come back for lunch, you look at your place, there's no smoke coming from the home. You're so crabby. Why can't we give our children free lunch instead of making them to walk all the way back home and come back to school? Stressed. After eating, then they come to sleep in class. And by so doing, we can be able to create jobs for our children whom we are taking to community colleges who are trained as cooks. We can be able to get jobs for them to cook for the children at schools. It's doable, it's not expensive. But because of corruption, we are where we are. Somebody might ask me, how are you going to fight corruption? The white elephant. My friends, here in the US, my department, I run a department of about 100 million, right? How much is that in Kenya shillings? I go line by line by line. I don't give it to my manager. I do it line by line. The previous year, I know next year, this is my budget. Everything is set to the single coin. Let me ask a budget of about 5-6 billion. That will take me maybe 1-2 days to go every single line. Where there is theft, cut it off and throw it. Those white elephant projects that are eating money that they've never finished, take them out. Put what's working. Simple thing. So thank you for your time. I could have shared a lot. I have done a lot of research. I have been with my people, the people of Nyamira. I'm telling you that I'm here, I'm coming, I'm partnering with you. Please remember me, August Taretiza, Sambili Asubui. I know those people, my competitors who have told the people that, oh, you know me, I have so much money. I'll be in Amakoli, buying boats, 5,000 a piece, so I don't care. I'm telling those people to watch out. Eat that money and know where you're voting. Because some of them have even told me, you know me, I'll give 500, you'll go with somebody, that somebody will say that he doesn't know how to read, this person will vote, and then they'll come out, I'll give another 500. My people, this is the only opportunity that we have to change our county. If we don't do it now, it will take us another 15 years to come from the ditch that we have put ourselves into. Please, examine us, look at us. We also have our flaws. We are not angels, and we cannot fix every problem in Nyamira County. Not every problem is caused by the county, but the lack of action from the county has led us to where we are. Let us think, let us look at who is who has what, who can be able to deliver, and we partner to change our county. And those people who are not undecided, my friends, my family, those who are not decided, please, let us come together and vote wisely. Munikumbuke tarehe 9 mwezi wa 8. Thank you so much. Dr. Gideon. I might be able to take 1 or 2 questions. If there is 1 or 2 questions, please, you are most welcome.
Thank you so much, Dr. For those members who have come here, we have a chance to ask some of the questions that are very pertinent to us. And as you do this, remember that, we are being covered by our media, KJ TV, as well as the Indies TV. So this thing is being captured live. And therefore, once you have given a chance, you could come with we can have like 3 questions, and then we'll be able to give Dr. Gideon to answer those questions. That will really help a lot. Once again, want to thank you so much, the governor to be. And it's about time now. I invite Dr. Machoka to take us through those questions. Doctor.
Thank you. I think now we know who Gideon is, Dr. Gideon. We know who he is, even when they ask questions, we exactly know what we're going to ask, because I had 3 things that are also engraved in our national manifesto. Obolivi, Obolichinga, right? Those 3 things, right? Right. So, one of the things I heard, I think the one I know in Vegas, have a job in Vegas. Is it David Governor or me? Minister Mayor. So it's already that's a key Vegas. So the only way I can get that job is if we can support our incoming governor, Dr. Gideon. And the way we can support is, I know some of us might not be able to vote physically, but we can talk to people back home, tell them that this is the Africa we want to be the governor of Nyamira, and who can transform Nyamira to what we want. And also support Gideon by supporting through financial help. Those are the only resources we can be able to give him so that he can be able to go to Nyamira. And for those who have never gone to Nyamira, Nyamira is very big to cover. When Gideon is on the ground, he will need to cruise through Nyamira County from one corner to the other, from Esise all the way to Mawawa, Mawariri, Nasinakaraga, Umanyanya. I don't know there, but I hear that, right? Yeah. So he has to go to all those corners for him to be able to sell his ideas, good ideas that we had tonight. How can he get there? How can he push through Nyamira? Through finance. And we can only help him from the diaspora through our finance. Again, the numbers that I gave you, 651 500 8680. Again, it's 651 500 8680. Cash up the same number, 651 500 8680. And for those who are back home, the M-Pesa number is 725 366 50 725 366 509. To that end, I'll have to open for question and answers. Like Brother Chapet said, we'll take 3 questions, then the governor will answer those. So we'll do them in segments of 3. I saw a hand back there. Robert?
Yeah, I just want to make a bit of correction. Probably the governor has not done its research well enough. We have a private one, it's about 4 years old. Yeah. We have a library in Nyamira. It's about actually 4 minutes from my home. and it's called Island Creamers and Food Factory. It's just right behind, next to Nyamira Boys High School, next to Zimbabwe, and behind the new home for Matian. So it's a factory that has been built there. I think it's about 4 years old. It's processed milk and some other foodstuffs. So it's a point of correction. If you want to build another creamery, maybe in the interior parts of Nigeria, basically that private creamery serves a certain material. So I think that's a point. So that when you go to talk about that issue, you will follow that point. So that's a point of correction. Other than that, I would want to thank you for there. You know, Dr. Orina, my Gideon, and you quoted my uncle. For us, you say discipline, determination is not about all that is needed for you to succeed, but daring, you have to dare. You know, to come out and contest for any seat, MCA, whatever seat, you have to be very, very daring. I remember Barack Obama, when he started off, you know, it was like a joke, but he did there. And you see, he succeeded. Also, it's very important to dare and follow it up to the end. Other than that, I have no other questions. I think you have a good agenda, and we wish you well. I'll be there when it's going to be very thick and thin from June, July. I'll be there. Thank you.
And just to add, it comes from the other side of the Nyamira far up there. Is that right?
I come from Mesisa on the border. I come from Mesisa on the very, very border of it. So actually my next market, whenever I'm at home and I want to go visit a local market, I go to the night, either by walking or by motorbike. Yeah, I mean, I'm a border guy, but my original home is Nyamira Township. So I have two homes, very border end and Nyamira Township. So I'm a very important asset. I'm giving you a very safe house in settlement scheme. And also have relatives who sit on the border. There is a market called Nyamira. Have you ever heard of that town, Nyamira market? It sits on Homa Bay, Kisumu, Kericho, and Nyamira County. You can walk on these counties in about 1 minute. So that's how far Nyamira is. I'll give you a walk when I'm there.
Thank you. Yeah. Anybody wants a question for Governor? Or point of clarification, like Robert, or something you want to advise him?
The mic closer.
Question? Dixon, you have some? From downtown. Check. That's the address. Gaston Boulevard, and check it downtown. Check
or translate, or you go and translate. I can't translate that. One prepare. Sunday so on the bagel and the Gideon, and now I didn't do bagel for making not at the buffet. is a real person. They don't have a commodity. Now, no matter the president, we could not attempt to go. I didn't want to talk. Okay. What I want to talk again, that over and then to miss it again. The camera, and one more which camera. Next time, one bar work. Talk or name to the talk or carry to a no ask which more technology. Always customs victimizes. One Mr. Gideon. Go and over the whole school. It's a good thing. All on that one, Robert, every young officer. I read my mind. The market, the according market. Obama said, I did it. I'm going to with them NATO. In the border of really the world. You know, I didn't mean a deal of Yogotaka. Everything I never got the command and you order it. Maybe two billion a million to a Nyamira, and I shared with you with the one. Scratch Nyamira, but I got to win. So what the dynamic sales in the sun. Njinomeja kisi county. Okoma bandwana ni twa ku kisi una kabele na kisi yoga district ya watu na mimi watu kila wapi. Abantu wakaenda ni watu na mwanzo wa Nairobi. Kwa rama ni Nairobi. Mtu maana kwa roho na shillings Italia. This time go to 5. Ekina kera kwa tuna maana Nyamira. Abantu batata Robert ndara makuna techa hegali town. Na Nyamira ndo kwa ile dynamics yoga ra town. The development structure, the analysis was a good calendar. Take structure, you know, was not go away. In a million hospital open. A minute to what can but one of you in there. I want to buy this cheap resource outside. One of the other children can in monitor product. Miracle one, Anya. Don't I got disaster. Elina Raga. And then I said to my friend, that exclamation to the other. The guy got more than one Mukutana. And we are a blessing in this case, was a curse in this case. Never the more than what to break on Mukutana to expect to get more than a cardio more wonders. At Una agenda aircraft could one campaign. You know what's going around proper ground. You got the quarter mattress, which when the water is okay. Então, I didn't speak quite answer. To wait a one month, Kaja was taken. No opponent, they are quite a cosa. No one to just have briefcase, Chidor. One man, a woman, don't go over was oil of later. One, they make it to Rocana for my son. You go over and Rankai. You know, was Coronti campaign. Launching campaign in magnificent. Mono, your lack of campaign in here around Cherry. Omanga eto mega to broad one as abantu bali baronti campaign ba rulema to manyetwe no nyenda inda kana na support and the associate ne kera abantu fanya bai de tumelo kotira ya kwa kona programa sakuna lakini sasa ukora kuchinduma ya ki ya uti kwa address it now emi tumne byuma de bya boto shame muna juma de wana ngora ki kitu wana bose umuntu nginase to na maidana na chete na last get buffet mbero you got $20 yet we kama kuta anya wa mraba kwa wewe bete chufekta chiria ande tiaba na batebe songo ka ende songo umba somete bakaka songo wane ye tukemo polisoneti no monto wana mongo ore na mayansa iko sinya musmada kwa bana bambora yudia o kero ko kekenyo ojo trimu ko kikiaba na ko kibirigo ko wasoka bomite konate ko wasoka tendeza ko kadamile ka yo ko chura sio bogabna ya wata kora wata se wata bora ngai moyo tiga wata mata wata tauni na biota kemera tiga kora chura ali hapo alibono ya pale ndio wata tena somo ndo ukisita chikura cha Nyamira County na odeko o ile chikura cha Nyamira County chagraso anda kuchu lakini kwa kweli na utamwona ayoko balunga kama ndo itama itani kwa ndia kwa Kaya kalau dia mantu aku bukan ya. Oke, anda kurang itu kurang jadi bantu nanti kan dia operasi siapa ya. Oh, dia kami dia ada macam sampai sih apa deh. Kan ini orang itu jadi apa? Ngomong betul cuma masalah. Mabu na wen tu tua. Jadi nanti di kongge. Tua Chole mabu nanti tua apa baru ada nama barisan di mana. Botu kan itu kurang botu kecil. Kurang sepuluh mukas. Kurang botu kok. Ama antum baru tua ada cinta. Kambing itu orang muat ada 5 groups. Laca. Yes. Makanya dia mana pada nak wikiranga, ini intelligence. Waktu tak pada tiada, dogus. Aman tahu nak baru tu buat je. Kalau kita nak ada sama se, aja yang kita nak ni. Itu mana? Interpretasi dia buat. Aman tu mana Nyamira bahagia mau tak ada tu mana je. Kalau Nyamira, dia mau buat map dia tu macam dah Nyamira. Kau dah Nyamira tahu? Ni apa pandai cerita lagi. Yo semua kau cuci orang yang orang yang mayang. Kau tu kan mayang tu kan? Itu ni kau cuci soto. Entah, no, entah nak boleh. Sekolah entah nak boleh. Dia mantu those area di disabilities orang support us. Kira kenyorok. Awan tu balik nak mana aku proper. Otri muka sama tahu kau. Jangan kau dah otri muka. Aligo kau. Nyamira yang kau teh. Tiga bantah apa nak pandang masa pume. Untuk tadi na notua de eti ngkate itu kau nak. Ero mana lagi, nando lagi nggak kau beri nanti kalau mana roto yang malu nggak lagi. Ntar kalau ada sini mau akhir, mana lagi kate de speech yang lalu. Toh kan kata nama dia yang lagi ngam integrity. Oke, ini ada integrity. Di mo, itu tak apa. One, dokter ni two. Entah kita tu sini, nak kita tu, nak apa dah, macam tu sini tadi. Macam nak mungkin tu rasa. Obedience mesti di raja, originality. Nama mamba boleh mau tu. Proses originality na inte, nak tu rekam ayat sah. Mana kita juga nak pikiran ada. Apa dah? Obedience buat yang tu. Apa serat? Apa yang tu? Tapi dia como é essa siasa? É que eu vou ver que tu quer o dia, não tem condição de nem ground. Jangan nanti mana kita jadi meneragun nama kerja itu kan orang-orang buat ini entah dia, entah gua, nggak kerja, gua tahu jaga yang, arona kau kan ada, nyaga orang proses de forma kapan asbab beda baru, even me deal with them one on one that. In what a container, they want a full equipment. Mungkin karena tu kagak maka kanyaka kita ni ay pati, sepuluh kadang-kadang nak buat bantal apa itu. Aku ada dia pati, aku akan buat lagi. Warna putih aku buat kata korek equipment itu itu mahal aja. Ni pada ni sih, nak kiota gitu. Aman-aman tu nama, nak aku tu minister. Ya, jadi, ina akan nama tu orang kan ada kita tahu aja sih apa procurement nama dari rumah deh dia tahu apa buat lagi dia tak jual mereka semua lagi madam singkat dengan jadi biasa kalau kurang bicara dia boleh konten ya mah ada pun itu orang Nyamira nanti baru for direction macam mana ini kontennya jadi besok kau ngacu Cina boleh ni konten yang ada orang boleh buat kalau musim juga orang tidak. As we speak, anak bawa panti. Kemudian kita juga ada yang segi itu, mana kerja. Kamu untuk kalau itu muka buat. Noba ada kita noba. Apa buat nak orang itu kita sama ada sama. Akhir itu kita ni seni nombor itu kita terus semua kan terus nanti. Pakai 3 hours. Pakai muat. Akan dia kita beritahu first that women. Okay, they done it must be then it's just motor. Akan lupa ini ada text nama text dah pada. Don't just we speak. Untuk mengakhiri nanti ini tinggi dia mau buat. Kalau orang mau, evident goal main itu buat depan. Orang support ni elemen dengan cara yang sejauh. Dia entah itu dia buat dia. Yando nyochori ya baraka bado translate era ndio ba kwa na nasali. Tirimbo kama kodi ya lakini kwa koda ngena ngena kwa dress kuranga. Nyenda na kisha na mandu baitu. Ndio tu kwa nete. Na ndio ya kwa New York Nyamira etamo. Nyamusimata ali abantu bali kwati tende. Especially nyamusimata ali abakulira ibintu bitabera munalo. Abolo sana munalo. Wetigombo. Nga bana to banegirete. Ndio Nyamira ro rabanga ko che tawo. Banga ko osikisi mana. Abantu bali batali ke mata. None kare na ali mata na ali kare no ko be ke kwa toro. Tawe se kwa mata ko Nyamira tawo. Ebe ne kare no ali ke ke sawa. Tentaya. Na kodi yao lakini abantu banamira this the guy no particular naomba mo muandalete abasani bali bane mesena kiana inkodo chabu nimati na kole gasire nanda ede sadamu nimati bako kole gasma ya sadamu zo mbali be school nedinga kilia meleka ni bedex wele de bwana de buwe de to mbali sadamu lakini nimati no anuli toka na tina ngama sabi kiana basi no muskabera Nairobi lakini na wate base mata na wangu mara tatu kwa mtu na watu na lakini kwa nataka tiwa sana kwa ndio tuale je kampeni alioro je kampeni expect finance ndio na ni kampeni kwa hapo embaramba bapo our musician boss waacha alia toba tena na wangu sponsor ni sio sponsor hapa na msikibos bali imani tomosi waacha alibasheke damu ya kwa ana muntu unyalete no unyalete ngozo haroro ya no muntu
So Governor, you hear the sponsorship already coming from Castoni. Some people might wonder how Castoni knows Nyamira well more than downtown Nyacheki. Castoni actually lived most of his young life in Nyamira. Even went to school in Nyamira.
Yeah.
So he knows all the heroes of Nyamira. So next, any question? Before I give two people a chance to speak, Brother Innocent. Brother Innocent is also running for seat, I think member of parliament, right? And then Elder Nyakuri after Brother Innocent. But there's a question, right? No? Okay.
Our president, and governor, everything is a choice. It's a choice. So if that is the case, then only around the one we do our children. Then to what into support asto kwenye elinde na warabu batrai astola na dibuko ya tingwa na mangi mono jengo kujara kimbaso waro kama ni wako kutoka chini aswali wako wali chukura ni support you kagari sana Ndizi TV so iko kama na mkali kwa mmoja platform mate niko support ile sana. You can get the airtime. Africa, there is one kera mu wete campaign ni asina ari mutame ki mu ko kine kera mu wete la tu. So the media, the media houses go get the more reach to those places when they want to reach out and can support. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So Governor says all things work for the good of so mtoto wa jirani, easy TV coverage. Again. Question? You have a minute for it?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman, and welcome. And thank you, Gideon, for calling us together. I know we are few, but we can make a big change. I just wanted to say one thing, and this is personal, not a community. Even in this country, Martin Luther King changed the perspective of Black people. Years later, we came to find Barack Obama being a president, the first Black president. You might not be the governor, but your impact can change how people perceive diaspora leaders in the next 10, 20 years. Your son might be something if you can't make it. What do I mean? There's a big perception back home. I wish our people will understand that once you move out of your country, you start to see things differently. Trust me. The time I grew up, I only knew that my mom is the only one who cooks the best meal until I had an opportunity to go out and see how somebody or an aunt can cook. Then you come to know that people do things differently that can change life. Unfortunately, people back home, they don't understand that our urge sometimes to push for reforms, changes, is that we have seen things different. But we can't give up. You will push from Nyamira. Next 5 years, 10 years, somebody will come, will push, and you will never know what the impact will do. My life, the way you see me in this country, somebody touched my life when I was a young boy in standard 6, 7. And you find those simple things you do, you touch a young person's life, can impact on how they think, how they see things, and you come to harvest or see the results in the future. It can take 10, 20, 40 years. So what I'm telling you, I am so happy for you. It's a bold move to decide and move forward and go for an elective position. Many people get so scared, but I'm telling you, it's a bold move. It's not easy. Sometimes you have to plug your ears. You will hear negative things. You will be smeared, but you stand to be the pillar. You just bring it even basic. You start from basic. Even here where we are in our community, you can be criticized. You will be humiliated when you go there, and there people will tell you good things. But perseverance, resilience, you stay on the course, finally you will get yourself to where you want to be. If you cannot, you will be able to change a life by using somebody who will use you as an example in the years to come. It's not only for us, it can be for our kids or our children to come. Our wonderful senator to be. The other day we said, oh, maybe you can fight and be the president of this country. You know the laws. She can't be. She's not an American citizen by birth. But her hard work can be harvested maybe in 20 years to come. So that's how we do it. Be persistent, stay on focus, don't be distracted. And I am so happy when you talked about healthcare. If you have a minute, I'll say something very touchy you said about what our people don't understand. I am a life experience. My dad was born an orphan at the age of 4 months. He never had a dad. At 12 years, a mother. At 12 years, he never had a father. He never had a brother nor a sister. That economic model you said, it came to my mind. He will tell you he only had 2 chicken, 3, 4. By the time he was 18, he had a goat. He had a cow at 22. He married my mom. He got 12 kids. You go in the village, it's completely different now. That has taken over 35 years. And what touched me most, Mr. Governor, my dad started to be sick at the age of 35, a unique disease. It's a disease, skin disease. I just calculated right now, it has taken me over 14 million Kenyan shillings to treat my dad since he was 45 and now he's 80. You talked about asking a loan to treat. So we can make money, but if we cannot pay attention on these basic things that can really strip us naked financially, you will never change life. So I am so humbled that you are looking at the basic need: food, shelter, clothing, and health. And I really allowed you for that. I'm Wilson Asiago from Kisii County. You are my sister brother county. Thank you and congratulations for the move.
Thank you.
Our president, I think your secretary moved away. I don't see him, but Mr. Gideon, chair and the committee. I will say this, and the people who are sitting right here and the media. The vision our brother has is a big one, to help your brother, your sister, your cousin, your grandpa down there on the ground. People who live there, they are there for the day. They are given something just for the day to please them. But for the vision he has, I like the way you say healthcare. The free healthcare should be provided to every person so that at least you can get the basic health needs when you are growing up. If you look to our grandma and our grandfather, they are at the age of 50, 60, 70, but they don't have any medical assistance from anywhere. They start getting sick and they die. Horrible pain. Because of what? They don't have enough money or somebody who can support them. The other thing is about education. I know we can have alliance in Kisii, in Nyamira, and everywhere else. And that starts with you. If you give our brother here support, he will get it. I've been on the ground. I've gone through I'm vying for Kitutu Chache North as an MP there. Fueling vehicles just in a day going around is a lot. You fill the tank with almost 7,000, 8,000. That is just one. Like him, we will be having maybe 10 vehicles going around with him. With me, maybe 3, 4, 5. So the support you give him, even if it's a little, it will help. Some people say that we are not going to assist this. This is a political form or a political thing. We are not going to help. Yes, you may say you're not going to help, but he's going to talk with the people to get the votes from there. Is he going to sit in his house to get the votes? No, he has to move. He needs financial help. Yes, he needs your prayers. He needs your support. If you are able to be there on the ground, be there. And another thing of support, brother and sister,
you have your cousin who is in Nyamira, you have a brother, you have a sister, you have your uncle, you have your auntie. Please talk to one of them. He needs that vote. I'm from Kisii County. I'm not from Nyamira. So my voting will not get it. But for you, I have friends from Nyamira. When I Gideon, I'll talk with those friends to vote for him. That is how you support him also. You gave money, you gave a little assistance, but support him also by talking, calling. You know, there's a leader who was just beaten by 15 votes. If he had a little bit of campaigning to people to get those votes, he could have beaten the other opponent. But because of 15 votes, he lost. So we don't need our brothers to get like he lost because of 10 votes or 15 votes. We need him to be a governor of Nyamira. And the other thing, I'm happy for you, is able to link with all the people who can support Nyamira to go to high heights. What does that tell us? If it is education, he has the people. The other thing about the Alliance School, you said, I've seen how schools develop from doing poorly to doing excellent. If we have good support, we have good governance, all things will flow, and we will have good schools in Nyamira, and our kids will be able to attend good schools and graduate and be of helpful of them and their families. So finally, I'll say this, my brother, count me and my family, we will be helping you. And count me in getting votes from our brothers and sisters in the county. It wasn't my day, it is his day. Mine will come, and we hope the best for you, sir. I hope God blesses you so much.
I think they said that Kenya was there while picking in. So we also wanted to come and let our governor to be.
Jambo nyote. Hallelujah. Thank you for giving me this chance also to talk to I can call him my son, because I know I've known Gideon for some time. I visited him when he was in Mengeto. And after Mengeto, he came to our resident. He stayed with us for some time before he could move to his house. So he's a special person to me. I remember one time, me and my wife, we visited him to Ingero. You can see how special he is to me. If at the fourth, I could have voted for him. Now I can see those who have spoken, we come from Kisii County, but we have relatives. As some of you have spoken, we will do something. You know, personally, I'm not a politician. I hear politicians speak, and I like listening to them. Every morning, I watch politics in Kenya. And sometimes you can find myself hooked in my phone
on YouTube, trying to hear what has Leila said today, what has Luther said today, what has Arad said from Kisi, because I'm kind of leaning to him. So, when I listen to these politicians, sometimes I get amazed. Recently, I listened to one in Amatanga. And you know what he said? Now I'm seeking for the last time. And please, all those people are here. And he was asking the organizers in the Matanga, can you allow me to say Matanga? And in fact, what amazed me, and I think in this country, I've learned the way people do politics. And it is, I love it. Because in this country, you assist somebody who's going to be your leader. Ama namna gani? Sinakuanga namna hiyo. So politics is a very dirty game, as they say. And one time, those olden days, I listened to one politician who's now the late. Mwaka Savania Nyene. He said that world chikura umaja kumanya huyu bana. So a lot of encouragement. People talk a lot of things, bad things about you. And if you get discouraged, you just stop it on the way. But I want to pray for you. I mean, as I'm an elder. Play clear politics. I listened to you. I just came and I found you speaking. But translate whatever you were speaking. You make it see some people were saying, you know, if you speak exactly what you are saying, I think anybody who's reasonable enough can understand. So mine is to wish you well.